He's like, I'm not hiking another step. I'm done. He left his pack unattended. And I think it was maybe Rodney, maybe me. We took a big old rock and we stuck it inside of his pack.
It was like 10 pounds. I don't know how that idiot didn't notice it the moment he put his bag on. He must have walked like 3 miles with that thing.
He kept up with us for an unholy amount of time with that much more weight in his pack.
That's amazing.
Man, we're such jerks.
So this is the Unplugged and Unsupervised podcast, episode number 1. We, 6 friends from the golden age of the 80s and 90s, are gathering to discuss some of our adventures where we managed to not die, had minimal serious injuries, and nobody ended up with a felony on the record.
Nice.
Which is a bonus. On the record.
They got expunged, right? Yeah, we were good.
Yeah.
Did we really have fun then?
What was that?
Did we really have fun if nobody got a felony?
That is fair. No, we were skilled enough.
We're gonna get challenged on that, I think.
So yes, we grew up at a time with no phones, no Google, and somehow, as I said, we all survived. Although I did have in a burn unit years later. But anyway, that's a different story.
Which part of the body, Dave? If you want to gesture with
face,
your hand
left arm.
to the puppet, Okay. Because I also have a burn injury story, and my buddy, friend of mine, was super courteous to spread the word that my genitalia had been burned beyond recognition and was no longer usable, which really didn't help. The summer
and you've been
after
proving everybody
high school.
wrong since.
Didn't get a lot of phone calls
there
from any of the ladies. I'm just like, ooh. So
that's an unfortunate story.
Cool. Not cool.
My condolences. So we should go around table, and we can each say like one thing that kids today would never understand. Something from our time in adolescence. Does anybody want to kick it off, and it'll also kind of follow the order from there?
Okay, here's a random one for you. But when we'd go to the YMCA and we'd swim and stuff, and it was just the big public showers, everyone just is all together. They don't do that anymore. Yeah. But I remember washing and like you turn and you look side to side, and like we were kids, so I mean I'm already short, but I was shorter, and you would turn and there's just a really fat guy and he's naked, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Matt was always like, Rodney, hey Rodney, check this guy. Rodney, look at this old dude over there. Rodney, look at this guy.
Why would you just shower at home? It's like 4 minutes away.
I don't know.
Oh man.
I just wanted to prime Rodney and get him ready.
So I was laughing because I thought you were going to talk about how I got you kicked out of the hot tub because I told him you weren't old enough to be there. You were like, hey, Rodney, and you're all like talking some smack. I'm like, oh, yeah, Matt, you want to take it there? I'm going to get you kicked out of the hot tub, you little toddler. And so I just flagged down the lady. I was like, excuse me, ma'am, do you have to be 15 to be in here? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, he's 13. She's like, get out of the pool, son. He's like, I'm older than you by like 2 days. I'm like, come on, really? You see how short this kid is? And then he got kicked out. He's like, this isn't cool. They totally just hauled him out of the hot tub. It was great.
Dude, you're such a turd.
Get, dude.
I remember that because I was 3 feet tall. So.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's
awesome.
funny.
Well,
totally remember you talking about all those like naked dudes with this.
Yeah, I remember you talking about how much you love taking showers there. Like you just do them over and over and over again. But anyway, solid.
That's the day Matt became a man.
It wasn't a prison shower. What?
or maybe he grew up never feeling like a real man. After anyway, John, how about you? Do you have anything that kids today just wouldn't understand from your growing up in the 80s and 90s?
Well, I actually don't even know if you guys know this one, but and it's pretty basic, really. But do you guys remember ever saying up in Washington when something was like really awesome, we'd say like mass, like it's mass cool. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's mass cool. Oh, mass cool. Do you remember that? That was like, I think it might have just been a Washington thing during the 80s and 90s, and that was it. But it's like a kind of a funny one that came to mind the other day. It's mass cool.
Was way mass cool also a variation, or that just? I feel like that was a thing, and maybe that was just me. I don't know.
Mass cool. Yeah, no, that probably was. Yeah, probably was.
I do recall that. I think that seems familiar. Yeah, solid. I like
yeah,
it.
that's.
I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. How about you, Rodney? What do you got for us?
Yeah, Rodney.
You know, one of the things that could really bring the country together right now, you know, there's a lot of immigrational tension, but one of the things that has always brought, you know, Muslims and Christians together in the 80s and 90s was the trust you had to have with the guy at the gas station when you got lost. You really just knew that that guy was going to tell you where to go, and you never met him before, and you were lost, and you were depending on this Indian or Muslim guy to just be like, get me to the next town, get me to this birthday party. I don't know where to go. I've never been here. And they tell you where to go, and you just follow them blindly. You'll never see each other again, and you just end up at your destination, you know? So,
Okay, if I can
there's a lot of
interject,
trust in strangers with asking for directions, you know?
yeah,
So,
let me interject real quick. I think that's great. But John, when we went to Myrtle Lake, do you remember that guy who was like, hey, how far is it to like Ketchikan or something? And you were like, oh, it's like 50 miles. And the guy was like, oh, sweet. I've got enough gas for that. He jumps back in his car and leaves. And I was like, John, where is Ketchikan? You're like, I have no idea. And we looked on a map and it was like 180 miles.
Oh, shoot.
It's Alaska.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
In Canada.
sure
I was
Worse,
just like,
John.
I'm sure
That's
he was
messed up.
fine. Oh,
he probably
You know,
died.
you
And it's
remember
probably
the
your
story to
fault.
tell.
You remember,
oh, that's
you know
pretty
Shane
funny.
Hansen? Do you guys remember Shane Hansen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You grew up with him. So one time we went somewhere, man, and I was waiting for him in the bathroom outside the bathroom for a while, and these other guys were waiting for their friend, and he comes out and he's just laughing. He's like, "We gotta go," and I'm like, "Why?" So we're walking out to the car, and he's laughing, and Shane's a really nice dude, like Matt. Nobody suspected that he was pulling all these shenanigans because he's getting A's, straight A's, you know, but he was always just up to something. And Shane goes, I was in the bathroom, man, and I was going to the bathroom. This guy was like, hello? Is there anybody in the bathroom? I need some help. I'm out of toilet paper and I need to wipe. And he was like, and I just left him there, bro. He was like, I just left him there with no toilet paper. And I had tons of toilet paper and he was in the stall next to me and I just left him. And I was like,
terrible.
that's so messed up, dude. That's something John would do, apparently.
I guess so. Man.
I
That's
want
funny.
to back up and note the Ketchikan thing is 683 miles.
It was Kamloops. It was Kamloops,
Oh,
right?
Kamloops.
Kamloops from Myrtle Lake. Yeah.
Lake.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
probably just misheard him, you know? I probably just misheard him. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
Never,
You
John.
catch a can, you point east. Yeah, it's 44 miles that way.
Is Myrtle Lake in Washington or Canada? I see two.
No,
Canada.
it's
It's up in
Canada.
Canada. Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
6
You
hours
see.
northeast of here.
We weren't at the lake. It was some gas station on the way, but
You broke the trust, John. You broke the
yeah.
oath of the road.
That was not
I
Skookum,
know.
John. That was not a Skookum
Not
thing to
Skookum at
say.
all. Truth.
I don't even remember. That's
Mass
so funny.
unskookum.
So for Rodney, we had the directions from the randos at the gas stations. Solid option. How about you, Kip? What do you got?
Yeah, so living the life of being able to jumpstart or push start a car. So and the flexibility in extreme weather situations where your windshield is freezing up, so you turn the car off in neutral at high speeds, reach out of the roll down window, and snap the windshield wipers to break the ice free.
Wow.
And then just restart the car. My oldest son's
awesome.
1993 Honda Civic is helping me relive the glory days driving around with overheating, and you go down a hill and you turn the car off so it can cool down before you turn it back on and hope that you crest the next hill before it red lines. And so and teaching kids or having to explain to high schoolers, okay, what we're going to do is you guys are going to push this car and it's going to magically start. And they're like, no way.
You can do that? That's
Yep.
awesome. Yeah,
So,
yeah. With how rare manuals are these days, yeah, that's a lost art. We need to somehow save that.
Was it pretty much just in trucks that had like the little triangle window that you could turn? It would blow the air right on you, like right.
Yeah.
I missed that a whole lot. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore.
Man.
Except when they
So
whistled
sad.
all the time. They'd always whistle when you're not using it. Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
or
that's
when,
true.
or when you think that's the window that's going to be forgiving to jamming the
Yeah.
oversized what is it? The
Oh, yeah.
hanger through it so that you
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
unlock the car.
unlock the
And
car.
that's the one that decides to shatter out on you. I didn't need that window anyway.
Wow. Apparently you have experience there, Kip.
The Escort had that window that would just pop out
Yeah.
pretty easy in the back, right? You guys had to get in that way a lot.
I think most of our stick shift experience were escort centric experiences.
Okay. Nice.
But,
Nice.
yeah.
Solid. All right, Nate, what do you have for that the kids wouldn't get today?
I'd say in line with that, you're 16, you got an old beater car that your parents don't care that much about and you don't care that much about. And then we did tons of fun stuff in cars, whether it was going up mountain roads way too fast and especially gravel roads, just flying around them. But getting stuck, running out of gas or locking your keys in them and just finding a way to get it open just because it's a kind of disposable car. And being like 16 and freedom to do that was pretty cool. And you don't see that, I don't think, as much anymore.
Gas with $1 a gallon, that helped.
That's true.
You had the problem solved pretty well because you couldn't just get a hold of people on a phone.
Yeah.
That was
Full
interesting.
disclosure, how old were all of us when we actually learned how to drive? Not when we got our license, when we learned how to drive.
You drive what?
Yeah, I was driving my lawnmower. Okay. And tractors at
I
2
drove a
miles an hour.
tractor before I drove a car.
A real car? I mean, I didn't really begin driving one much until probably around 15 or so. Yeah, I didn't have to drive cars until it was about license time.
Did you drive a truck on the farm down to the barn and stuff earlier than that?
No, not really. No, we just walked. Or rode bike, so it wasn't much of a thing. Yeah.
I think
John
I
B,
was
what
in
about
high
you?
school. Huh. Yeah.
Probably not like maybe 13 or 14 or something. A little bit of church parking lot driving probably was what we would do.
That's what was coming to mind.
That's fair.
My brother Pete would drove way earlier. Like my dad had we had a car that broke down and he went and fixed it a few miles, maybe 5 miles away from home. And he just brought my brother Pete, who was, I think 9 to just drive, or 8, something like that, to drive it home. And he could not, I think they put, some towels or something under the seat so he could see from underneath the steering wheel. But yeah, my dad got in trouble for that one just for my mom. But yeah, he was young, made it home just fine. And there were there's ditches all on all those roads out there too, which is kind of a different thing.
Yeah.
This never hurt anybody.
It's true.
Maybe.
Did you guys did anybody ever end up in a ditch? I'm trying to remember if I ever did. Yeah.
Oh,
multiple times. Yeah.
Mine was early 20s. It was probably about 1 or 2 a.m. and my buddy Pete and I went to Denny's a lot to have coffee until like 2, 3, 4 in the morning or something like that. And it was freezing raining out, and Pete calls me. This was in the cell phone era, early cell phone era. So this is after our glory days. And hey, come to Denny's. I'm like, okay. I get my car and it's freezing raining with my brother Mike. And I go, whatever, let's go slow. And that's the day I learned that brakes don't work on ice. I was going super slow. My windshield totally iced over. There was like mottled colors in the windshield. But it was 1 a.m. so it was dark. Occasional lights from something, and I tapped my brakes super super lightly, and I very very slowly went to a slide and very slowly slid into a ditch. And so we were just quarter mile from home, so we just got out and walked home. And then Pete got his uncle's tractor, and we gave some dirty yanks and got out of the ditch after a while. But yeah, that was my experience. Yeah, Kip, you had a couple.
Yeah, so the white car went into a ditch a couple of times because driving home late on Sunset, and you're thinking that this is the turn, and you're like, oh crap, and then you turn the ditch between the Jackson's house and our lane. If you remember, on that side of the road, there was a bit of cattails. That ditch was notorious for me missing the driveway or thinking kind of in a half stupor and then turning into it. And I was always able to either drive myself out, or I never had to go get tractor help or truck help for that one. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. I guess the last one for things kids wouldn't get would be me. I would say this is not internet, but it's playing online games with friends. So that is using a phone to dial your friends to play an online game together, but not on the internet. Which I think that A, using a phone to connect to somebody else, and B, it not be on the internet, I think would blow the mind of a lot of people who have grown up with the internet. Like you use a phone, but you're
Like a
not
closed
and you're
network?
not on the internet. Yeah, it's a direct peer-to-peer connection.
Yeah.
And then of course, there was a fun of somebody picks a phone up and it ruins your whole connection. You have to start all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was the
What
constant fight.
What games were they?
Or
Oh, yeah.
StarCraft
Command-
or
Command
was
and
that
Conquer.
Command and Conquer. Yeah.
Command and Conquer, and we
Yeah,
played
man.
some Warcraft. Also, didn't we?
Warcraft.
Red Alert.
Yeah,
Warcraft was
Warcraft.
fast too.
Yep.
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never
I love
played
how you're
Warcraft
like,
one.
everyone's banking on the fact you're like, no, it'll call me. I'll be good for 4
Yeah.
hours. Nobody's going to
Okay.
call me
Well,
one time.
Right.
like-
Yeah. Yes. Oh, it was fun.
Do you
But
guys?
yeah, I
Do
feel
you guys still? Sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh no! I was wrapping up. I feel that's an obscure enough, like 2 layers of like oddity that kids just wouldn't get. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead,
for
Matt.
real. I was just gonna say, do you guys still remember each other's numbers?
I remember.
Not.
Wait, I know mine because I remembered it. Memorized to the toothbrush song. No,
398. 398.
Could you sing it for us?
398.
Could you sing that for us, Dave? It's a little.
actually,
little
no, it's
rusty
not a
for
toothbrush
us.
song. I'm confusing my songs, but it is a song about. I know a number, my telephone number. Want me to sing it for you?
Dude,
Yeah,
but I'm not
that's
gonna
the
sing it for
safety
you.
kids.
Harmonize.
That's
it.
Safety Kids.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait,
That's the safety
I'm
kids.
not
I
getting
know
my
my
hand
number
up.
from that too.
Oh,
nice.
wait,
Yeah, that's safety
248.
kids.
Is it
Oh.
08248, right?
That sounds familiar.
384 0841,
Oh, wait.
wasn't it?
Oh,
08418.
08248.
Whose was
Oh, 8248. Yeah.
Oh,
who was it? 08248?
Yeah,
That's
that
so
was
many numbers.
I
Walker's.
feel Kip sounds right.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. And I think John,
You
weren't
wanna
you
know-
3?
It still is that. You gotta edit that out.
Oh,
You still have
It
a
still is.
You just stopped
You
saying
still have a
number.
landline?
Yeah, they still have one. You gotta edit that out, Dave.
That's
All right,
awesome.
Shoot.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
our number was 3845466.
Hey,
Yeah, I
John,
think
I've
we're
been
the
putting
only
it on
ones that-
bathroom stalls for a long time, so you're fine.
Yeah. I think we are the only ones that have a
That's awesome.
landline still in America.
That's messed up.
It's pretty awesome.
Hey, John. So we're moving to Alaska, and we're actually getting a landline. Don't worry.
Oh, are you?
it's,
Nice.
it's pretty brutal there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Probably
awesome.
probably
Do you-
all they got up in Alaska.
Do you end up getting? Will you end up getting Starlink, or what do you do for internet and stuff up there?
I was that same question.
So they do have a decent internet there actually, but their cellular service is real bad. So
Oh,
Well, you
That's
can
awesome.
you can get small like hotspots for cellular that runs off of your Wi-Fi.
yeah, we might
If
end
you're
up doing
looking for
something like that too.
solutions.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a good call. Yeah.
Awesome.
T-Mobile
Cool.
can pay us $1 million for this plug, but they have satellite now, so
All right.
Actually, that's true.
Can you crank call people in Russia from there? Is it like close enough?
That's
I
like
think
Maybe
so.
get them
send
on
a
the
paper
ham
airplane.
radio. Get them on the ham radio and start saying like missile codes or something, just to like mess with them. That'd be
All right. So we had a lot of freedom and some questionable decisions at that time. So I've heard tell of a 50-mile hike that occurred and some other items that occurred during that 50-mile hike, perhaps involving fungus and stuff like that. Does anyone want to kick that off and tell us about this infamous hike?
Was that an invitation?
That's an
I
invitation.
feel like Rodney was the star of this one, man.
Yeah.
Go for it,
Well,
Rodney.
you know,
So-
early on you couldn't tell that I was going to be the star because I think Nate broke his backpack a half a mile into the journey.
That's right.
And I don't know if it was that hike or the 20-miler. I was breaking in my new boots, my new rain boots. Not a good choice. Bad time to figure that out, you know.
Oh.
But
So this was a high adventure, kind of like a Boy Scout troop. Yeah. What's
Ross
the back?
Lake Dam.
I wasn't on that, but what's What's the
So
background on that?
I think Ross, like, didn't we do we did the 20 miler there, and then we came back later, did the 50 just farther along the same route. I bet Kip would probably know the exact topography
So
and terrain and
if you
route.
put in at Ross Lake and you cross the river or cross the lake and then head north, you hit a creek called Little Beaver Creek, and you follow that to the west. And your goal is on this through hike to reach Hannigan Trailhead. And it's a through hike. So it's like once you're halfway in, you're committed. And I think, what was it? We had we didn't have our usual leader cadre because our scoutmaster had broken his ankle at a church activity like the weekend before the Monday we were leaving on this trip. But his brother was coming, and Uncle Craig was an army guy who ended up on this trip with a bunch of boys he didn't know, and some of them who he came to, I think, not like. And so there we were marching out into the woods. I think there were about 10 of us with 3 leaders, Uncle Craig, a guy named Billy, and a guy named Pete. And these 3 leaders took us into the backwoods of the North Cascades and marched us from Ross Lake to Hannigan Trail, which is just over 50 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. And the adventures ensued on that trip. And we had done a 20-mile up to Little Beaver Creek, where I think Rodney saw a bear and almost wet himself or peed in the river into everybody's
2
water
different
bottle.
things.
Let me just set the record straight there a little bit. You know, it's like making fun of someone in combat, all right?
So
Yeah.
It's not cool, all right?
Sorry about that.
It's kind of like making some fun of someone in combat when you retreated and then they came back and then you were like, why'd you do that? You're like, so yeah, as I recall, I was leading the group on a beautiful sunny day next to a stream or a creek or a river, and it was kind of loud. And I just had my head down and I was just hiking and tired, because this is what, second or third day?
Second day, yeah.
Second day. And I just look up and there's a bear in front of me.
Wow.
Probably like 30 yards in front of me on the trail, like kind of sleeping on a pile of wood scraps.
Oh, wow.
And I yell, "Bear," in a very masculine tone. just to head off Kip's interpretation of these events. And I drop down to the ground and I turn around in concern for my fellow men to make sure that they're safe and I can protect them as a human shield. And they are like a quarter mile back, hiding behind a tree like a bunch of pansies, yelling, "Rodney, there's a bear. We're going to let you walk right into it because we're too afraid to come over there. Rodney, there's a bear." So I'm feeling very much, like the scapegoat here, about ready to just become a bear meal. They didn't do nothing to stop me. So we have this like long distance debate about what to do. I eventually take my backpack off. That's probably not a good idea. Had some meat in it. I was like, he smells the meat. We just weren't communicating real well. And then I army crawl back and I get there and then we have a little argument about how they should have warned me about the bear.
Was the bear awake at this point?
No, so good point. So he started out laying down. When I yelled, he got up.
Okay.
And opened his mouth and I was like, "What are we doing?" And then he got back down. He was like, "Nah, this is no threat." And then he went back to bed.
What kind of bear was this?
It was a black bear.
Black
Okay,
bear.
good.
Yeah.
And then the leaders decided, hey, let's go back and take a lunch break for 30, 40 minutes, right? And then we'll come back again. So we come back. Now I'm in the back of the pack because I've learned my lesson. Nobody loves me. And then we're in the back of the pack and I hear this branches snap and this bear's charging down the hill. The bear's no longer in front of us like a velociraptor. He came up from the side.
Clever girl.
And he's coming down and then he jumps and grabs onto a tree and starts shuffling up the tree and starts yelling. And then I'm like, oh, it's a teenage bear. It's a little smaller than I had imagined in my mind. And ironically enough, he had been sleeping on these bear alert or bear ahead signs that he had decided
wow,
we didn't need to know about. And he kind of ripped him down. But he turned out to be kind of a pansy. So we just kind of walked on by.
Thank goodness.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, so I think Matt and I were right behind Rodney, right, Matt?
I mean, right behind's pretty
Okay.
relative. Let's
Fair
just
enough,
be
fair
fair here. No one was right behind me.
And I
They
do
had your
remember I remember whispering very loudly. Bear! There's a bear.
It's more like a confirmation whisper.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
hoping
Whisper.
if the bear was going to get anyone, well, it ate Rodney, we could get past and continue our hike. But
Sure.
Yes, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one.
I mean, how do you see that event? Was there anything I missed out on, or
I would like to
'cause
bring
Kip
up
likes
that
to be like, Rodney was like, "Bear! Oh, it's a bear!"
well, Rodney, falling to the ground because that's the safe thing to do was, I think, more. Have you ever seen a scapegoat that gets startled and they freeze and then they fall over sideways? And then
Okay.
the other, I would just like to highlight the fact that the reason that bear was there was because everybody on that hike yelled at me that morning to put my
your
stupid
pots away.
mesket inside my pack because the
I
day
remember
before
that.
they were tied on the outside, and so I was like the peddler in the mountains, clanging the whole way. So that was, that's how I remember that playing out. And it
That's
was during the 30-minute leader induced break where Rodney decided to take a leak upstream of where everybody was filling their water bottels.
Was that intentional as revenge?
Yeah, purify this, I think, was the phrase that emerged from.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was like Dave and who else was there? Was it Dave Robinson?
Dave
I think it was.
Robinson.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
Robinson.
Dave's
One of the
dad? Dave
leaders.
Robinson's
It
dad?
was.
Yeah, Dave's
Dave's
dad. And to be fair, everyone says at the end of the day I was upstream. I was downstream. All right. They're like, "Oh, you were upstream." And they're like, "We're trying to purify water here." And I was just like, "Purify this." I just kept taking a leak in there. It was great. They really hated me for that.
Well, that was
is
that was
awesome.
the 20 miler. That wasn't even the 50 miler.
Yeah, I
So
get the
that
two
was,
mixed up. So
No,
Yeah.
that's cool. Like
that was 20 miler?
that was the April before the summer when we did the 50. Yeah.
That was also the one then, the 20 miler, when Rodney punched the fungus day one, right? And broke his hand?
Was
that
the
the
50.
20 or the 50?
Oh, was that the 50?
50? Because I
That-
remember
okay,
being in
so-
a lot of pain because not only did I punch the fungus, on the way back from punching the fungus, I slipped and cut my foot open.
That's right.
So let's break this down.
And then I was
So,
like, all right, cool.
was it one of those
and
fungus
then I
that
had
grow
to
on the side of a
explain-
tree?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know how
Yeah,
some of
one
them
of
are
the
easy
hoofed
to
ones.
knock off, and then
Yeah.
some of them are like concrete.
Yeah.
So there was a concrete one, and Matt, stirring up stuff, was probably like, "Rodney, punch that fungus." They just knew that I was an idiot, and I would just go for it.
How come you
And
didn't?
so
how come you
I
couldn't
just
defeat it?
punched it like an amateur, like got a boxer's fracture. I just punched it and like hit like my, pinky. I kind of hooked it, and it did not go anywhere. I just gave it all I had and just broke my hand,
I feel like with your
And
kung
And then
fu
I was
skills,
like
you
trying to
should've
be
been able
like,
do it.
"Oh, that's not so bad." And they're all laughing. I'm like, "I'm gonna go," and then I just like sliced my foot and fell over,
Oh,
and then that's kind of how that went. It was all
John,
swollen up. But
let's-
then we were debating on whether to go back because I like kind of legit broke my hand. But then, like Kip said, was like, "Well, you're at the halfway point. Might as well keep going." So we just went for it.
I would just like to note that it was not us that made that decision to keep going. That would have been a leader decision. Like, we were not
No, it was a
competent
leader
enough.
decision, and I
Yeah.
was fine with that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go home over it anyway. I thought it was kind of stupid. But
How
John,
old
what
was it?
were
Like
you saying?
15? Oh, I just was.
No,
Rodney
were-
was like in. Rodney was in these really serious like karate kid classes and stuff growing up, or kung fu.
this must have been
So I
pre
was just-
Karate Kid.
Kung Fu.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one time Matt and I saw him at his. I don't know. We just like pulled up when he was bowing to his sensei or whatever. And yeah, but anyway, it was. I was just wondering why you didn't use some of those skills on that fungus and just defeat it.
Great
But
question.
no,
Question,
it's
John.
who knows.
that fungus is probably still there with how concrete it was.
Maybe he wasn't
Trying
really a
to be
black belt like
respectful
he
of
always told
nature
us.
and the elements, right?
That is excellent.
I'm one with the universe.
Yeah. So another thing that emerged from that hike was the phrase, "You're moving like pond water."
Yeah.
Like pod.
I still tell my kids that.
Yeah, I do too. Yep, my kids.
That's
That is
funny.
one of Dad's phrases. You're moving like pond water.
Who
Uncle
came?
Craig would.
Who said that?
That was
Oh,
Craig.
Uncle
Mm.
Craig would say that to us at 6 a.m. when he's rousing us from our tents and we're not moving very fast. He's like, you girls are moving like pond water.
I thought he was he Marine or he was Army?
No, he was Army.
Oh, no wonder
Yeah.
Todd made fun of him. That's
Yeah.
just Todd was making fun of him for being an Army guy.
Yeah.
And he was breaking in
That's-
his new boots during that hike too.
Yeah.
Craig
Yeah,
was hardcore, man.
His feet
That's
looked
funny.
pretty hamburger like one of the days when he ripped them off or when he took those boots off and was getting doctored up. I remember.
Probably my
he was
favorite
tough-
part about that hike was
tough
how
bloke.
much Craig harassed Derek Cahoon on that.
Oh shoot!
I still, one of my favorite memories is the silhouette of them up on the top of a hill when I was coming. I don't know, whenever Derek decided to throw his like thirst strike or whatever, he wasn't going to drink water.
Strike.
An idiot. And Craig and Derek are on the top of this hill. I still remember it was like sun was setting and it was like they were just black silhouettes with a beautiful background. And Craig just yelling at him and Derek's crying and drinking this canteen. He's like, "You're gonna drink 2 canteens, you little maggot." Derek's like, "Oh no," and he's all crying and drinking. I'm like, this was awesome. Like, I love this guy. It's just like force him to drink his canteen. And he had just hiked 2 days with his underwear on a stick as the flagpole because he like left it behind. And I guess the Army and the Marines are both very much don't leave anything behind.
Oh yeah.
And so he had like these, unfortunately, they were legitimately brown underwear on this pole.
Wait. They
And that
came
was
brown,
like
or
the flag.
they
No, they
became
came brown, but it didn't help.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know if they were also, 50 Shades of Brown or whatever, but it was gross.
Wow.
And Craig was at the back, and then Derek was like right in front of him. Craig was just like, move, just like making him hike. It was great.
That's excellent.
Those
Yeah.
early days in Scouts were like such a mix of like boot camp and like youth reform, wilderness treks, kind of, and
Hazing.
then a little
Sounds
bit
like
of
camp.
You're
scouting,
hazing.
hazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Until we,
I kept
until we
telling,
moved in.
telling Derek every time he wanted to fight me, I'm like, dude, how did it go last time? Like, not well. You want to fight me again? Why?
Oh, did you guys actually fight one time?
like,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, they
3
did.
times.
Really?
He even attacked me at church one time and like shoved me to the ground when I wasn't paying attention. I go down, I come up, I'm like, all right, I need to at least get one hit in. And no, Pete Self was just swoops in, grabs us both by the scruff of the neck, like pushes us out of the building. I'm like, what did I do? I
Jeez.
just got assaulted, you know? But yeah, he
Wow.
was just a glutton for punishment.
Man, Pete
So-
Self took you out. That's wild.
I know.
So
yeah.
I
So
could
John,
ri-
your
I could rile
question
up the best of
about
them.
age. We were all 12 and 13 on that hike. I think TJ was
Deacons.
the oldest of us, or maybe I think TJ was the oldest, and he wasn't even. I don't think he was 14 yet.
He was
Yeah, I mean,
always
that's
the most
another thing.
mature
Think about that.
and
Like, that's
dialed
pretty
in.
hardcore. We used to do 20 and 50-mile hikes all the time. I don't know that they do that these days too often, you know?
Well, and
Well,
we
I
were
think
kind of
that's-
cursed as a. So this group of boys, we cursed ourselves. Do you guys remember the trip to Blue Lake and Spencer Crockett or Watson Lakes? Spencer Crockett killed. It was a beautiful day, right? Like the morning sunshine is out and we're playing by the lake. Eventually, our scoutmaster will get a ticket for having a fire where he's not supposed to. However, before that happens, Spencer Crockett picks up a rock and he proceeds to like brain this unaware camp robber bird, Stellar J, and kills it. Completely kills it with a rock throw. And, you know,
Nice.
to us, that's like next level awesome. And we're all like,
It's
yeah.
impressive.
And then it seemed like every camp out after that, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. We never
That's
left
funny.
on time. We were always hiking in the dark. It was always raining at some point on our
Yeah.
hikes for like a
Yeah.
year and a half. I don't think it was until the 50 that we actually, because even on the 20, it rained on us one night and we got up and we're all freezing cold and couldn't start a fire. And so we cursed ourselves on that Watson Lake hike and proceeded to pay for the next little while.
Yeah, I think we had the Chain Lakes and the Elbow
Yep.
Lakes. Those are ones like Dave and everybody went on that one where
Yep.
it rained. We left the car in the rain,
whole time.
hiked in the rain, slept in the rain, hiked
Yep.
back in the
Jeez.
rain, and never
What-
didn't clear up once.
And when we got
Things
there,
got
we
so
got
much-
we got
Yeah. Go
we,
ahead.
we got there and it was completely pitch black and foggy. So like we began our hike in the dark fog, and I twisted my ankle in the first like 10 minutes on going along. I think it's below Tip Top Mountain. I mean, it wasn't terrible, thankfully, and it worked out okay. But yeah, on that one, I got a sub sandwich from the grocery store. I'm like, oh, I'll have this, and then I ate half of it, and I ate the rest of it the next day. And apparently the beef had gone bad because I threw up not too long after. That was awesome. Yeah, that was. Well, and when we got almost to the lakes, I think like the trail kind of dispersed enough, so we couldn't even follow the trail anymore. And it was foggy.
Yep.
It was dark. It was raining, so we couldn't see anything. And so we're all kind of scattering, looking for some sort of evidence of where the lakes are, where to go. And finally, I don't remember who, somebody found a shoreline or something like that, and we were able to figure out where the campspots were. But yeah, it was. That was my experience with the hiking things, and that was suboptimal in terms of safety, probably.
Yeah. Things got a lot softer when my family moved to the area, and I joined the troop because I remember were any of you guys around still when we did the biking merit badge? My dad was in charge of that one, and we
Islands.
Cool.
Yeah, that's because we never ran out of food
islands
after
trip, but
that.
there was
Because you guys brought those huge Rubbermaid bids, and I was like,
that was
paradise.
that was just like a high adventure thing. But it was like a couple years after that, we did the actual biking merit badge, and like I think part of it was like the end culminating bike ride was supposed to be like a 100-mile bike ride or something, and we just had we coordinated someone dropping us off at the top of Mount Baker, like Artist Point or something, and just rode down back home. And it was maybe it was 50, I think it was 50 miles, but like it was just a downhill. There's no specifics in the manual that it had to be like uphill or flat, so we just rode downhill the whole 50 miles.
Just ride downhill twice. Go downhill, right back up, downhill again, 100 miles.
It was just so good. I love the loopholes.
That's awesome. Just came in the system.
The merit badge. Yeah. It's not that hard to beat the merit badge system.
Goat. Oh my gosh. What a terrible nickname.
Was there an ethics merit badge? Is that why I gained that one too?
Yeah. No. That's pretty fun.
I remember on the 50 miler though, at the end we would usually have some sort of like discussion either formally or informally at church about how things went, like the debrief. And I don't even remember saying this, but Peter would say this for like years after. He's like, yeah, I was talking to Rodney, and I was like, Rodney, you forgot your sleeping bag. Like, that's a pretty big deal, dude. And you forgot this and that. And I was just, I follow the adage, like, if you're going to be dumb, you better be tough, So I was like, what? I have my sleeping bag, but I'll be fine. Like, I'll tough it out. And then Peter Self was like, I asked Rodney, I was like, man, like, you weren't prepared. You didn't bring anything. Like, what's your deal? And I remember him saying, clear as day, he's like, I brought Matt. And Matt just sharing everything with me and like kept me alive. Like, I think he had a backup food, backup sleeping bag,
shared body warmth.
I was just, yeah.
Skin to skin.
All right.
Yeah.
So, one thing, like Rodney said, you didn't complain about it. And like I teach school now, and it's like, oh my gosh, like kids complain all the time. I remember, not to throw anybody under the bus, but there was a kid we went in scouts with. I remember doing a snow cave with him and being like, by the end of it, it's like, dude, why are you even here if you just want to complain all the time? But like, yeah. So.
Well, in fact,
I also remember that as kids, perspective was everything, right? Because when we got to the end of that 50-mile hike, and one of the leaders, if you guys remember, Hannigan Trail ends, and then you have like a really long road to get out to Mount Baker Highway, and this is in the days of like brick cell phones, which one of the leaders, I think it was Billy, he ran the road down to Mount Baker Highway, flagged somebody, and got in touch with the family to come and pick us up Friday night rather than waiting and hiking out Saturday when they were supposed to come. And when he came back and told all of that, Derek Cahoon, when we came into camp that day, he's like, I'm not hiking another step. I'm done. This is the worst, stupidest thing ever. And then the minute it was like, hey, we get to go home, he was packed before everybody else. And he left his pack unattended and I think it was maybe Rodney, maybe me. We took a big old rock and we stuck it inside of his pack.
It was like 10 pounds. I don't know how that idiot didn't notice it the moment he put his bag on. He must have walked like 3 miles with that thing.
He kept up with us for an unholy amount of time with that much more weight in his pack.
Wow.
And so
you remember how excited he was? He's like, it's the home stretch, guys. I got all this energy and I'm going to go.
Which just goes to show you, like, it's all about perspective, man. When you're having fun, the worst possible things could be happening to us. And it was type 2 pleasure all the way.
That's amazing.
Man, we're such jerks.
We really were.
I know, seriously.
This guy's struggling and we're putting rocks in his pack. Jeez.
It's just how it was.
Lesson.
There's just something good about making
does anybody
remember?
Do any of you remember the bugs on that trip? How we got to one spot and we got our sleeping bags out? Not Rodney, because he didn't have a sleeping bag. But we got into our sleeping bags to hide from the bugs because they were so bad. And it was like the middle of the day. Man. Yeah, wicked hot.
Yeah, we were wearing those nets on our faces.
Yep.
The horsefly nets. Yeah, those things draw blood.
Peter Self shows up on the trail and catches up with us. And he's like, what are you guys doing? Because we're laying in the trail in our sleeping bags to get away from the bugs.
Wow. Dang. Intense.
It was bad. It was really bad.
But we didn't complain.
That's right.
We didn't complain.
Well, if you remember also right before we left, though, we also did the kind of the polar plunge challenge, me and Spencer into the river.
Yeah.
We were like, how many times we could jump in the frozen river and get out and then jump in the frozen river again.
Oh, yeah. The big rock
good times.
there at Ruth
Yeah,
Creek.
I think I won. I got like 16 jumps or something. I remember feeling very proud about that accomplishment at the time.
I remember also another water experience shortly thereafter where you had a cast on because you did actually break your hand. And then we went and swam at Spencer's pool and your mom told you to stay out of the pool. And you're like, screw this. And in you go.
Like my hand stunk really bad like a corpse for like
I'm
a
sure.
week and a half, 2 weeks.
Was that from the fungus
Yes.
injury?
I still think whoever put that cast on was like their first day of putting casts on. I didn't do anything. You like stopped right here and I could like move all my fingers. And they like shoved this thing in to try to keep my fingers straight. My hand's still jacked up from that.
Jeez.
It is like I don't know if you can see it, but I got like a divot in my hand from that. Like you could see my knuckle kind of like tapers off. You see how low it is right here?
Oh yeah.
Compared to like
Awesome.
Yeah, you're
one.
deformed, Rodney.
You're free.
I'm horribly disfigured.
The dangers of fungus. Man, I tell you what. Yeah,
Exactly.
speaking of sleeping bag, I had that once. Went up, buddies Justin went up to Canada. We got some free tickets for some ski resorts from the Warren North show. And it's like, we're going to go up there and, sleep in the parking lot. Wait, did it?
Yeah.
Nate, did you go along with that?
Yeah.
That's
we met
right.
you up there.
Yeah, that's right. And you remember that I forgot my sleeping bag on that one. And I remember leaving the house. And I was living with Dad still. And on the way out the door, he's like, you got everything? You got, your clothes, your stuff, your sleeping bag? I'm like, yeah, I got it all. I was confident and cocky and get up there, get my tent set up on, we're just camping in the parking lots on top of snow. And I get my tent set up and all excited about it. And I can't have my sleeping bag. And then I realized I don't have it. So that was a very, very cold first night. It was like, I think 20 degrees and I lay on top of snow in my tent.
Yeah.
And I had December. Like one blanket. Yeah. So next day I went to Walmart and bought a cheapy bag. And that was great. But that first night was unpleasant. So yes, sleeping bags are good. Anyway, yeah, we were growing Hot Pockets. Well, I was growing Hot Pockets in my camp stove in the back of the truck. And that was fun.
Nice.
That was fun. That was my only experience actually like snowboarding and like fresh powder. That was I off trail, I think, stuff. But anyway, do you want to dive into Goat Mountain at all? We are currently at 8:30 almost. Or do we need to wrap it up?
I wonder if we
Myrtle
do-
Lake or do something else.
I don't
Well,
remember Goat Mountain. Did we hike Goat Mountain? I remember hiking Goat Mountain at some point.
Yeah, I
remember hiking Goat Mountain with TJ. I don't remember if I hiked Goat Mountain with you guys or not.
Yeah, I think it was Kip, me, and Nate, and
No,
Art,
yeah.
but
I think Rodney, you were there.
Oh,
Maybe
Art-
not.
I don't remember. I
I don't
remember
think I was
Art was
there. I
there
hiked-
too.
We tried it
Matt,
so many
your notes?
times.
Wait, didn't we hike Tommy Hoy with Art?
Yeah, Tomahoy with our, that was the trip
Tom Hoy.
where on the way back, we were all so wet and dirty that we decided it'd be a good idea to strip down to nothing but our skivvies and TJ's trooper. And so we looked like a busload of naked
Here we go with the gay
kids.
stories
That
again.
whole phrase.
Turning Mike and the boys.
Wet and dirty, stripping down.
All right. Whose idea was that?
Rodney.
Yeah, I'm not the one that put the YMCA on and started doing the actions, you know.
Refresher, Goat Mountain,
YMCA.
sub stories, passing fully geared adults wearing jeans and sneakers, adults trying to stop you, not summoning fog of wind, ponchos sledding down the mountain, and a cliff moment with Art grabbing bushes.
Yeah, it was a fun
Yeah.
one, but I do think maybe Myrtle would be better because everybody was there.
Okay.
John, you were on Myrtle too, right?
Myrtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was through scouting as well. Because there's some of the adventures we did. Most of them are just we did them on our own, right? But there were
Right.
some that were like Boy Scout, like high adventure, whatever. And that's what Myrtle Lake was. So it was I mean, we lived up in Whatcom County, up in Washington State, and so right on the border of Canada. And Myrtle Lake was probably like a 6-hour drive or something from
Yeah.
where we
Yeah.
live, something like that. Yeah. So we found there's a couple of different lakes. We were thinking of doing Bowron Lakes. Do you remember that, Kip, initially?
Mhm. Yep.
Which is like that chain, like it makes almost like a square or
It's a
something to
loop.
the lakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we settled on Myrtle Lake, and so we did quite a bit of prep for that because there's a little bit of a portage. You had to hike a ways to get your canoe down to the lake, and there wasn't as much portaging on that trip as Bowron Lakes. But I remember lots of thinking going into like, how do we transport these canoes without just carrying them, and do we need something to wheel them in and all that. But anyway, there's quite a few, lots of like Tuesday nights or whatever, just at Scouts planning that trip, right? And then we went up there. But it's that, if I remember correctly, that lake is sort of like L-shaped, right? Like it goes north for a ways and then west. It's like a big, I can't remember how large the lake
It's a
is, but it's
foot.
up in British Columbia. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't know how many, what did we have? 5 canoes? There were like 10 people on that trip, maybe 5 or 6.
I think we did have 5 canoes. I'm
It was
absolutely
your
sure
at the
dad
end.
and
We were all
Pete
lashed
Self.
together.
I think your dad, Pete Self. It was Nate, Matt, Rodney, you, me, John. TJ was there.
Spencer.
Was it
Spencer Crockett was there. Yep.
Yep. I think that was about it, right? What
was
is
it
that?
3
1,
nights?
2,
We did
3.
3 nights, right?
No, I think it was 4.
It's
'cause
4,
we drove
yeah.
up Monday, then we headed out to the sandbar campsite, and then there's Smokers
Oh.
Island and Ferry Slipper. But we,
Yeah, I remember
think
you
we
and TJ.
stopped
I
at-
remember you and TJ wanted to stay an extra night on Ferry Slipper. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Kip.
In
Sorry.
fact, they named it after they spent the night there.
Yeah, after they spent the night there, that's what they named it that. Yeah. I'm
That is
just
my
kidding, Kip.
brother.
Sorry.
So just to contextualize that little homosexual overture there,
That just
John.
makes it worse.
It's fine. No, I just think I think it's just a neat part of the story. I remember, no, it was on Ferry Slipper, I'm pretty sure. I decided, do you guys remember? It's like in full view of everyone. I like went out in the canoe, and I'm a little bit bigger fella. Well, you guys are a little bit smaller, I would say, actually. I'm the right size, my mom would say. But I decided to go take the canoe out by myself, and I was sitting kind of far back in the canoe, and man, I laid back. do you guys remember seeing that? I just whole thing did a wheelie, and I ended up in the water.
Wow.
So embarrassing. It's incredible. But that was fun. That was a cool trip. I'm trying to remember. We didn't see any bear on that. There's a lot of warnings that there would be lots of bugs on that one too. Especially,
Actually, Jeff Benham was on that trip, I believe, because I was arm wrestling people one night, and I remember
Whoa.
whooping Jeff, and he was like not happy because he's like a football dude. I was like, "Don't worry, little boys aren't here to see you get crushed, buddy. It's okay." And then John comes over, and John's like, "Hey, let me give that a try." And he's like, "Bam!" And he's just like, about breaks my arm, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm not awesome." John just like 0 effort, just like crushes me. I was like, "All right, John's the best at arm wrestling."
I'm trying to remember if I guess he was there. Was Eli there then too? I felt like those two would have been together.
I think Eli.
I know
I think
Jeff was
Eli and
there.
Jeff might have been there.
May-
Yeah.
Maybe
I
there
think
were
you're
6
right.
canoes. I don't know.
I have pictures of that one. I have pictures of the HMS Skookum because on our way back, if you guys remember, the wind picked up, and on Ferry Slipper. So you put in at the heel of this lake and you paddle over to the toe of it, and then when you're coming back, right about the ankle bone, there's Ferry Slipper, but you can't camp on Ferry Slipper. And we had one more night on the Achilles heel side of the lake, and the wind had picked up. And John, I think it was your dad who gave us the idea on Ferry Slipper to lash the canoes together and make a sail.
Yeah, with the
And
tarps, we made
sail
sails.
across. Yeah, with the tarps. And I remember another epic moment of Rodney-ness that happened. Rodney decided that it would be a good idea to throw the flippers on that I brought and swim to keep up with the canoe that was clipping along at like a mass 3 knots.
We had a
And
but I tied off
we
because I knew I wasn't going to keep
we
up.
literally had
fast.
to throw him a line because he was gone. Like he was lost at sea the moment he jumped out.
we
of that
basically
boat.
had a wake. That was pretty amazing.
That's
Well, let's
awesome.
not forget about our mystery friend on Ferry Slipper
Yeah,
Island.
yeah, we stopped at that
we
little
said the word
island.
Skookum.
Yep.
That was just.
That
I think
the
that was me
Skookum
and you
dude.
and Spencer. We went on like some little adventure, right? And that's where we found him, just on that beach.
No, we
Can't
were all
remember what we
lashing
were doing.
the canoes together.
Were
That's
we
what
all
were
together
doing.
for that part?
That's where we
think
learned
so.
Skookum, right? Because they thought our
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
contraption was so incredible.
Okay.
We're on this basically deserted island that we thought, and there's like a fair amount of beach, and then it's a little hill and all these trees, and it was kind of shaped like a rhombus, you know? If my shapes are accurate.
Yeah.
And out of the woods comes this mysterious man, like one of the, like a John the Beloved or something, just some random dude, some hippie from the 70s that got lost at a Grateful Dead concert. He just wanders over, and I'm like, where'd this guy come from? And he just comes up to us and he starts looking at what we're doing. He's like, "Oh, it's a pretty skookum boat you got there." We're like, "What?" And Spencer looks at me like, and I'm like, "Yeah, man, we're scooped." And he looks like, "Nope,
Nope.
like, oh, we can't use it that way, I guess." Present tense, past participle, or whatever. And so then we're just lashing stuff, and then he's like, "Well, see you later," and just turns around and goes back into the woods, and then just gets like carried away by the spirit or whatever, and just vanishes.
Yeah.
And we hook up our canoes and we leave, and then we're kind of passing by and looking. There's no boat. There's no way to get there. He's all dry. He's got.
What
I'm
in
like,
the world?
where this man literally just came into our lives to teach us one word.
Yeah.
And one word only. And that was
Yeah, he was-
skookum.
He was born on that little island and never left.
And there was no internet, so we did not know what that word meant for like 6 weeks until like Kip came back from like some boating expedition, was like, "Man, I was down at the pier and I figured out what the word skookum means." And we were all like, "What?" He's like, "Means solid or seaworthy." And I was like, "Yeah,
like healthy or something."
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, it was a compliment. Nice. That's funny.
Yeah,
I
that
do
was-
remember.
that was so
Kip, this
weird.
is a little bit of a. You probably don't know this. This is your first time hearing it. I'm so sorry, but I got to tell it to the world.
That's right.
Every night, like a different
good.
person or whatever was in charge of making food for the group. Like it was all planned out, but there was this night that it was like Kip's and I think TJ's turn, and it was like lentil burritos. Do you remember that, Matt? And I just remember me and you, like, we weren't so sold on the lentil thing, and so we just like rolled our tortillas to look like they were full of something, but they were just empty inside. And we just like ate the tortilla because we just weren't sure about lentils. I don't think I'd known what they were, but it was probably really good. I remember feeling kind of bad.
No, yeah, you shouldn't feel bad, because what I remember about that lentil dish is there was way too much of it. It wasn't that good, and we ended up dumping all of it in the lake, thinking, "Oh, this will be gone." But the lake was like crystal clear, so that the lentils and rice are probably still there.
They're still there,
like in that cold layer of water where nothing lives.
Yeah, that's funny. So it's not too late. I can still
I
go
had a
get my
little bit
lentil
of-
burrito.
You could try it. And I had some early environmental and eco-friendly angst about polluting, because we took it out and dumped it, and it was
Yeah.
like, is this right or wrong?
That was probably my dad's idea to do that. He's pretty
Anti-Earth.
Loose
Well,
with
he
He
the-
likes
usually
the
dumps
earth,
oil in the lake.
Yeah,
He does hate moles.
Back in the day, you could still like you remember when I don't know, I was a Deacon's Quorum advisor with TJ at some point when I was older, and we took the deacons out, and it was really surreal because we were taking the boys out. Like we used to be the boys, the deacons, and we were taking them out. And it was kind of like when you first go home with your baby from the hospital, and you're like, "You sure?" Like we don't know what we're doing for real. Like I don't even know what I'm feeding this kid today. I have no idea. I didn't read any of the books.
I haven't started
My
lactating
wife was
yet.
supposed to read them, and she didn't graduate college. Like I don't know. And yeah, so it's kind of like that. But yeah, I just I totally forgot what I was talking about. I'm really tired. Oh.
Eco-friendly or
Eco-friendly.
Yeah,
eco-unfriendly
eco-friendly.
moment?
So we're taking the deacons out, and I'm trying to impart wisdom from our scout leaders. So like Todd was very Marine, leave no trace. So I'm like, hey guys, I'm talking to Brandon Ross or whatever, the Ross boy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey man, we got to leave no trace. If we bring it, we got to pack it up. And we got to clean it up. And he goes, "Are you a Democrat?" He said. And I was like, "Bro, I'm just gonna like, it's conservation, man. It's being a good steward of the earth. It's not a political ideology. Just clean up your." You know, he was like, "Are you a Democrat?" I'm like, "You're too. You like, take your suit and tie off. Quit being so conservative. You got to find
That's
a middle
so funny.
ground here, you little weirdo."
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
awesome. You know, back in the day, we could like clean stuff up, and it didn't have to get political. We could just be like, "Hey, don't take a dump in the river or whatever."
But are you, Rodney?
Am I what?
A Democrat?
Oh,
I
no,
wanted
pretty
to know as
moderate.
well.
I'm the middle of the yin and yang, man. I'm like the eye of the storm
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Just like, boom. I'm like, you're wrong and you're wrong. Peace. I'm out.
Yes,
You
I
know.
see.
So,
Yeah, it's
so,
just a
so
good place to be.
important piece of information backing up a heritage skookum. It is a Chinook jargon word originating from the Pacific Northwest, meaning strong, powerful, brave, or first-rate. Often used to
Nice.
describe
Yeah.
durable products.
That sounds like
Yeah.
us.
Jargon.
Yeah.
I've heard that term before. That's cool.
Legit.
We gotta
Legit.
do more
I
of
would
that.
totally get
Is
a.
there any other
Rodney, we
words?
should get skookum tattoos if you want.
Yeah.
On your forehead.
Hey, if you want a good suggestion for a skookum
Hard pass.
tattoo, you can find skookum apples, and they've even got a picture of a Native American, like a little caricature of a Native American right next
No
to
way.
it. It's totally PC. Yeah, look up skookum apples.
Consider it appropriated.
Our
I love it.
historic Pacific Northwest apple brand, registered in 1914 by the Northwestern Fruit Exchange, known for using a smiling Native American child with a feather as their logo. The brand name comes from the Chinook word meaning excellent, special, or strong. Skookum. So that word's been around for a long time. Legit
Yeah.
Native American word. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's my
Wow.
tramp stamp.
Ooh. Too far.
That's fine.
That is also
Cool.
very
I'm sure-
90s, though. Tramp
I'm
sure
stamps
Matt
was
got-
out of control
gotta
in the
look at that
90s.
at the
Everyone
YMCA
was
a
getting
few
a tramp
times.
stamp.
That's awesome. That's
John.
awesome.
I don't think he
Sorry.
went a lot
Sorry
after he
for
got
the
kicked out of the
overtalk.
hot tub. He had to wait a few years to go back so he could take it seriously.
All right. So backing up, anything else from Myrtle Lake? The
We
Foot
almost
Lake?
got ran over by a moose at the beginning.
Oh wow.
I don't know
Oh,
who it was,
remember
but
that.
somebody rustled up a moose on the Portage Inn. Thought it was a bear because, of
Yeah.
course, it's
Oh.
us. So we thought it was a bear. But it was a great big bull moose that decided to run across the trail and go into the lake. We
Wow.
Later, when we got our canoes in and paddled across, we saw its tracks and stuff.
Wow.
I
Frightening.
remember y'all
How-
trying to explain to me how dangerous moose were, and I was just like, I'm not afraid of it. And you guys are just like, Rodney, don't get near that moose. Like, I'm being really serious right now. It'd be a really bad idea to get near that moose. I'm like, it looks cuddly. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Were you with us later in college when Steve, you, me, we got charged by a moose?
Yeah, there was
Oh, for real?
a female, like a mama moose, and her calf was dead. We didn't see the calf; it was sitting right by her feet, and we kept. She was like
Jeez.
in the trails. We were trying to get around her. And every time we got close, she would charge us. But then later, yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Wow. What'd you do?
We skipped the trail and went up the side of the cliff. And then on our way back is when everybody in the group saw the mama moose's dead calf next to her. It was, the way I remember it too, is we came up on her and we could only see her, and all the guys in the group are like, oh yeah, we'll just get snowballs. And there were girls with us. So we're like, we're going to be manly men and scare the moose off the trail. And we proceeded to like throw snowballs at this angry moose, and she put her head down and charged. And we like scattered like a covey of startled quail. Like, every man for himself. Who cares about the women?
Yeah, it was funny. You weren't married to any of them, so it's fine. Just leave them there.
Chivalry's dead. We're out.
Man, speaking of snow, I got to tell you this story. I don't think I have before. Speaking of snow and girls and all that, I was on a hike once with some people in Provo here in Utah, and I was telling them stories because Nate and I had climbed Mount Baker at that point, and we'd, there's the crevasses up there that you have to like be careful of, and anyway, it was just funny because it's like just the area I'm in is a little bit like the maybe a little more rigid or something, I don't know, but I was talking about these crevasses, and she just like got so mad at me, and she thought I was trying to say the word crevice, but like saying it like crevasse to sound crass. Because she'd never heard of that word before. But I was like, so like we ended. It was sort of a hike, sort of like a date. I don't know, but it was like she got so mad at me because it's a Utah thing to crevasses. And I was like, no, it's like this French word. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. Like
that's awesome.
It's so funny.
Yeah, the French are.
Crevasse. Yeah,
I kind of love all those little Utah stories that just make me smile.
John, you should have played into that. You should have been like, you've never heard of crevice donkeys, huh? Yeah, they're crevasses.
I should have.
I do like Old Testament trivia. My son is so happy when I'm like, what did Samson slay 1,000 people with? He's like, the jawbone of an ass. And he's like, you're right. He just loves saying it. He's like, I got to say it as loud as I want. Yeah. From the rooftops.
Oh,
yeah, that's awesome,
so
man.
The last thing I remember from Myrtle Lake, I just remembered this. I think it was like the farthest out camp, whatever that one is, near the, like, I think it's near the discharge of the lake. We were out there swimming, and there were leeches. I swear they were like 6 or 8 inches long. And I remember like we didn't see them till we were like swimming, and they're like swimming towards us. Like little,
oh my god,
it was
that's freaky.
Yeah, we didn't swim anymore after that.
That last campsite too was awesome. There was that river that we did. We like would run the canoes down it. Like
yeah, remember how we like almost died because like the canoe got stuck under the fallen tree.
Yeah.
We decided let's put in like 30 feet away from this fallen tree and go straight for it. And then I got stuck underwater. You remember that?
Yeah,
that was dangerous as hell. Did
crazy.
we have to push the canoe under the tree to like get it loose or something?
Right. Yeah.
Or did we leave it?
Pushing against it pretty hard. No, we didn't leave it, but
I almost got it.
Man, I was up in I was fishing the Provo River a little bit ago. Well, it was actually a couple years ago, and the water was kind of moving quick, but there's a lot of boulders there, and I saw these 2 guys come down. A lot of people like to go down in the spring because the water's moving a little quicker, and they got broadside to this rock. And you can see them like heading towards it, and it was one of those aluminum canoes. They like rented it from BYU, I think, and man, those things are not strong from the side. Like it just wrapped all the way around the rock. The whole boat. So there's no fixing this. They just like hauled it out and put it back on their truck and returned it to BYU. But they're very
boomerang.
Yeah, they're not that strong. It's kind of funny. Those are good times. So we had mostly those canoes were like the plastic ones, right? I mean the Coleman. Yeah. Your family had like a red Coleman one, Matt, I think, and we might have had the green one. I don't know.
Yep.
How did we get them up? Did the scouts have a canoe trailer, or did we borrow one from somebody? I can't remember how we, those trailers where you can like stack 3 on a side. Was that how we did it? Or
I don't remember.
On top of vehicles or something. Yeah.
I feel like you also put on the roof.
I want to say we had 1 or 2 vehicles with them on the roof, and then we had borrowed, I think, Steve Crockett's trailer, and we had kind of hodgepodged them in and ratcheted them all down.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Just made it work.
We weren't one of those ritzy troops.
I do remember on the way up, it took way longer than we anticipated at the border because they like made us like unpack everything out of the trailer. Like we had to. They thought we were importing drugs or something into Canada.
Dude,
as a
that's
scout
funny.
troop.
We should, guys. We should have an episode just all about border crossings, unless no one else has had these experiences. But like literally every experience I have at the border is so bad. Ever since I was a kid. Like I remember my dad, like we lived right by it. My dad would like always break the rules just because they didn't make sense with his like ethics or something. And so he'd always like bring fruit. It's like, you're not supposed to bring fruit. And he'd be like, yeah, we have these plums. And it's like, well, no, man. So like and he wouldn't throw them away. So we'd like get out of the car and we'd all eat like 6 plums each. And then we'd get back in the car and it's like, why did you bring these plums? Like, not to do that. But yeah. And then it was like me and my 5 other brothers and my dad. It looked a little sketch anyway. So on one of the trips, they stopped us, and like every time we got stopped, and they brought us individually into rooms to like make sure that was actually our dad. They like interrogated all of us. It was so funny. And I first said, "No, it's not my dad." Save me.
I don't know why this is taking so long, Dad. I answered all their questions. This is just weird.
Oh,
that's
yeah. Just my last trip up there, I got stopped every time. They searched my
the only
car.
time
Good luck. You're on a list now, man.
The only time I ever had trouble, once we got turned away, we were in high school. We were skipping class to go skiing.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You guys are skipping school." We're like, no, we're not. We got out early. They're like, "No, go back to school." And so we just drove to the next border crossing, and they let us go across.
I like cannot help now. I just have like nervous tics now or whatever when I'm at the border. Like I know it's not a scary thing, but like it's been ingrained in my mind so much. So like I'll just be sitting there like at the crossing, like fiddling with the window now. Like it'll just be like going like up and down a little bit, but it's just like this little nervous thing. So like for sure they're gonna pull me over. But
you have
anyways,
Tourette
so
syndrome
funny.
only when you're at the border crossing.
Only at the border, yeah.
Foul,
just like
foul things.
No.
Well, how many of us remember going up to Canada as teenagers, like on a Saturday or something, on our own? I don't think we needed notes, or maybe we just needed notes. But you'd go up, you'd spend an afternoon. I remember Matt and Lindsay would spend, like, you guys would go up to Canada just as teenagers, right? And then we get home from wherever we were after high school and stuff, and 9/11 had happened, and now it's like trying to invade a third world country to get into Canada.
Yeah, got serious. Yeah, my brother and I went up there to see movies sometimes just to catch a movie because they had better theaters up there. Yeah,
I think
their rating system was different too. We could get into R-rated movies because they weren't R-rated.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You mean
Like
when the
W or
YMCA was
something.
closed? Matt's like, I'm headed to it.
Yeah, for real.
He's going to the wave pool.
Yeah, the wave pool is where we'd always go.
The wave pool is
Yeah,
actually
Wave pool.
we would just shower like with our
There's a little
swimsuits on,
kids
though. Like,
section
we would
there,
just
so
leave
you
it
could
on.
go jump in there. There's like a little. It's warm, not because it's a hot tub. Little kids are taking a leak in the pool.
That's funny. Yeah, we'd go to the wave pool a lot. Tim Hortons.
Yeah, Tim Hortons,
nice.
right?
Classic.
I think that I probably already did. I tell you the story about when we went across the border the week after 9/11. Did I tell you that?
I don't
know.
Oh man, that's such a good story. So like, Colt and Shane, Colt wanted to be, and he still is, like, into like directing and film. So he wanted to, like, he was like, "Hey guys, this is a historical thing happening right now. I want to document 9/11." And it was like a week, like maybe it was like 4 days after 9/11. It was like 9/15, little early maybe for the documentary. People still a little on high alert. So we're like, "Hey, let's go to the airport." So we go to the Bell airport and we start interviewing people that couldn't catch their flights. And what are you doing? Where are you from? "Oh, I came here from California. I'm trying to get to Canada and I'm stuck." And we'll be like, "Oh, that's a shame." So anyway, we meet this one guy and he's kind of nice. He's kind of like Eastern, Middle Eastern or whatever. So he's like, "Hey man, I'm trying to get to Canada. You think I could bum a ride?" Of course, we'll give you a ride. No problem. Just a terrorist trying to go to Canada. So like, saddle up, partner. So we throw him in the back of the Jeep and we just drive up to the border to like give this guy a ride to Canada. And our plan was to just drop him off so he could do the walkthrough, at not Peace Arch, but the truck crossing.
Mhm.
But we got stuck in line, and none of us have our wallets or IDs on us or anything.
Oh, shoot.
So we get stuck in line. We come up to the Canadian border, and they're very polite. They're like, "Hey, how you doing there?" And we're like, "Good. What brings you to Canada?" Eh?" And we're like, "We met this dude, decided to give him a ride," and they're like, "Cool, welcome to Canada." You know, like they don't give a shit. So they're like, whatever. I said, "Hey, we accidentally got in line. We just need to turn around and come back to the United States." They're like, "That's fine. Just turn around. They'll understand. Everything will be great." You look honest. So just nice Canadian folks. And so we go through the border and we turn around, we get in line, and we come up to the border, and then the questions go a little something like this. They're like, Shane's driving. What, what were you doing up in Canada? "Oh, well, we were just up there for a minute. We accidentally got stuck in line." "Oh, okay. Well, how'd you get stuck in line?" "Well, we were giving this guy a ride, and he needed to, walk across." And, "Oh, a friend of yours?" "No, we just never met him before. Just met him at the airport." "What do he look like?" "I don't know. He's like Middle Eastern, never met him." And he's like, "Okay." And really, he's like, we're going to have to search the vehicle, but it's a Jeep with no top on, so you're pretty much already searching the vehicle. And that's when we realized, hey, don't we have a bunch of camouflage, black powder, paintball guns, potato guns, and everything that you shouldn't have in the trunk right now? Yes, of course.
Oh, no.
So they start pulling stuff out. They got the giant potato gun and paintball guns and camouflage and like everything, black powder and canisters. I'm like, oh shoot, this is not going well. And he's like, "Oh, I need to see all your IDs." "Yeah, we don't got them." we don't got them. We didn't even plan to be coming across the border. We don't got IDs. So, and he's like, no, we have nothing. We have nothing.
Oh.
And he's like, I'm like, he's like, "Are you all U.S. citizens?" I'm like, "I'm not." And so he's getting kind of mad, and we've been there a minute, and he's like, I could call your parents and get them up here, and you guys don't have your IDs, and I can't believe you guys took some random Middle Eastern dude across the border you met at the airport. He's all chewing us out. And then Shane's like, "So can we go?" And the guy's just sitting there thinking, he's like, "Yeah, just get out of here. It's fine." Just like, I'm like, really? Like, are you sure? Because like, maybe you're not doing your job, man. Because like, I would arrest us. And he was like, "No, you guys are just too stupid and too young." And they just totally let us go. And
That's
I
funny.
could not believe we just drove away. He was like, "I can't." He's like, "I can't with you
Well,
guys right now."
in all seriousness, Rodney, and
I
growing
mean, we
up
got
where
like a
grew up,
video recording.
the bad stuff happens on the other side of the country, and we have an open border that's like thousands of miles long. If people wanted to get across the border, going to the Peace Arch is probably not the place. Nate,
Yeah.
you remember that time we were hiking out of the Goat Mountain area, and the Border Patrol guys they were kitted up like SF soldiers going in for bear, and I had hit
patrolling the mountains.
the bathroom on the way down, and so Nate gets like accosted by himself by these guys. And you had said that they like interrogated you, like, "Where are you guys going? How long you been there?
Probably doesn't
What are
hurt.
you doing?"
It's probably not good that he probably knew a bunch about horticulture. It sounded like he could run a grow up by himself and was like really smart,
So yeah, like the border was a different experience for us growing up than what it is today.
Well, what did they do to you, Nate? What did they ask you? Were they?
Well, they were asking
How'd
about
that go?
hiking it like across from Canada, like, and I told them that they were like, could you do it this way? And I was like, no, this would be a dumb idea. I told them I had the right way to do it, and so I don't know if they. I guess I didn't really realize what they were asking, or why they were asking.
What a bad time to freeze, man.
Oh man,
Did you guys not hear what I was saying?
Are you back?
yeah, you were
part
freezing
of
pretty
it.
bad, man. Yeah,
Well, we
it'll
should-
just look like no one thought it was funny.
Oh.
Sorry, Nate. You're bad at storytelling. It's just poor storytelling, Nate.
We could do a laugh track. It'll be fine.
Sounds good.